Now, welcome back. So there's FA Cup action continuing this evening. Liverpool back in action after their defeat to Manchester City are away to Wolves. Kicks off at 7:45. Jason McAteer has been keeping a close eye on Liverpool this season, as you might imagine. Evening, Jason.
How are you, boys? You okay?
Yeah, very good. We'll talk to you about this game in a second. However, Jason, why always you?
Well, that opportunity. Jason McAteer, superb stuff. Now here's Joe Cole. Konchesky wants it on his left foot. Darren Bent, well, the whistle has already gone here. The whistle has already gone. Oh, and McAteer has lashed out. Yellow card for Michael Owen, but what is going to follow here for Jason McAteer? That's the question. Tension so high. And McAteer.
Oh, come on.
Well,
they were both at it.
Little kick out from McAteer may have made the difference there. Well, Owen as well. You're quite right.
They both were at it. For me, one goes, the other one's got to go.
There we are. I tell you what, if it's not Stephen Cluxton, it's Michael Owen. What's your problem?
I don't know, Joe. You're right. I asked myself the question in the car on the way home. Why always me?
Particularly when it seems to be events for charity.
Scored a couple of goals. The lads were in good form. We were playing decent football. Yeah, everything was going nice until that moment of controversy, and it had to be me, didn't it?
Jace, what are you thinking? What are you thinking, mate? Honestly, if I was there, I'd have been able to calm you down in that situation. You know that?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, Kev, right, I'll just set the scene, right? With these competitions, when Ireland, Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland, and then you've got a bit of the glamour, they called it in the build-up, of England and the rest of the world, that already sets the tone, for the boys. They're thinking, well, are we not glamorous enough? And they always get that element of maybe extra protection, or, they always get that element of there's more focus on them. And you do feel, well, I've always felt in these, certainly Legends games, that there's been a bias towards maybe decisions or protection of players. And we know that there's sponsors involved, and we know that possibly they'd like the glamour in the final to keep everyone's attention. So we understand that. But there comes a point where when you're on the pitch and you're running around for 25 minutes and you are putting in a shift and everyone's battling and the competitiveness comes out in you, the sportsman comes back to you, there is that element of, you don't want to be hard done to by a poor decision.
So, Jess, can I say though? Can I stop you there? Am I right in saying then you took it upon yourself to be a bit anti-establishment? Then would that be fair?
In what sense? Towards the referees or towards?
Well, just towards the superstars that you've described.
No, not at all. I mean, I totally understand. I understand it, and I get it, and it's something that maybe you've got to live with. But at the end of the day, if one of them kicks out at you, then you've got to stand your own, haven't you? You've got to protect yourself. You've got to ask the question why they did it. And unfortunately, in that moment where it's intense and that situation, and I was breathing out me proverbial, it's very difficult to calm down very quickly. So it was a situation that escalated. Unfortunately, it was Michael Owen, because he probably was one of them players I would say would be slightly more protected or looked after. And the referee made an absolutely atrocious call and sent me off and not him. Now, I'm not saying I should not have been sent off. I was a bit petulant. I didn't kick him up the backside. I pushed him with my foot, which was a kind of like a loving kind of, go on, off you go. And Michael understood that. He didn't get hurt. He wasn't hurt by it. But the referee should have understood that. Now, they were Latvian. Now, I don't know why Soccer Sixes chose Latvian referees, but they did. And there was not a bit of common sense was involved. Now, if he wants to send me off, then fine, send me off. But Michael Owen should have been sent off for his part in that incident. And he wasn't. He was protected. And I said it on the telly. Maybe it was because it was Michael Owen and it was England, and the referees were slightly more lenient towards these kind of situations.
I've misjudged
the price.
I've misjudged the mood here. I thought we were going to come on and have a big laugh about it. Actually, but you're genuinely a bit annoyed about it.
Come on, let's lighten it up. What do you want to know?
Well, I'll tell you what I would say though.
What did Michael Owen say afterwards? You knew each other reasonably well, or did you have a year together, or no? As players?
Oh, mate, years.
Years,
Yeah,
okay,
years
okay. So you know each other.
He comes through with it. Listen, there's absolutely no problem with me and Michael Owen now. We talked to each other in the car afterwards. You know, we spoke about it afterwards. We laughed about it. We put our arms. I wanted to chin his mate, like. His mate was doing it. His mate was goading me as I was coming off. His 55-year-old mate was standing up like a 10-year-old child, waving me off the pitch, telling me to go off your pop. I wanted to chin him. Right. Michael are absolutely, like, fine. Listen, we understand. Joe, the incident, I totally get the incident. It's like, if you want to lash out at me, then, you know, it happens.
Yeah,
like,
to be fair, I thought your kick up the bum was a very playful off you go kick.
Yeah,
it wasn't a proper. It wasn't Bishop Brennan.
I mean, there's no problem with it at all. Me and Michael have got no problems. We didn't kiss and make up, but we had a conversation and laughed about it. And these things happen. Kev will tell you these things happen.
I tell you what was mad was how much everybody was watching the Star Sixes over Christmas.
Yeah. Crazy, wasn't it?
Unbelievable.
We had the FA Cup on. There wasn't too much interest in the FA Cup, I have to say that.
So
No, and I've got to be honest. It was an unbelievable competition put together by Soccer Sixes. I mean, the way we were looked after, you know, it was very, very professional. The way they did things. Hotel was fantastic. They looked after us. You know, we had a pint. Do you know what I loved? I absolutely loved, and I was gutted Kev wasn't there, because I asked Kev, he blew me out, to be honest. We couldn't afford him. That's basically the crux of it. Now he's like big time on the telly and all that kind of stuff. We couldn't afford him. But we got this lovely team together, like a lovely blend of youth and experience in all areas, drinking, entertainment.
Jace, we did have the oldest attacking lineup in world football, though, didn't we? Let's be fair.
It was about 108 years.
What was it?
Quinn and Owen Coyle.
Owen Coyle and Quinn, okay. Who was best performer?
Quinny scored, though. Quinny scored.
Did he score? So we had you, Ian Hart, Phil Babb, Carsley, Liam Lawrence, Richie Partridge, Owen Coyle, Stephen Hunt.
The tone was set in the first game. Stephen Hunt and Barry Ferguson.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, and then they went at it. Hunty gets sent off, and then that was it. Then really, so
which wasn't a sending off.
No.
Who was the best? Who was the best Irish performer?
Well, it was tough. If I had to pick, I couldn't pick one. I'll give you two. Phil Babb and Lee Carsley were unbelievable. They were outstanding. Absolutely outstanding.
That was until
Carzo could still play.
Yeah, Carzo's very good, but I thought Carzo was the best player until he had his pocket picked by Mendieta against the rest of the world, and you know Mendieta's caused us enough damage over the years as well. So that was it, really. That did it for me with Carzo.
We don't like talking about it, Kev.
No,
we don't like talking about it.
No.
That was our policy in the dressing room. We don't pick on negative. We're very positive. The camaraderie in the dressing room. You know, it was like that proper. You know, the stuff in the Irish dressing room. We had that. Do you know? I tell you what happened. When we got there on the Friday, we all got together and we were having a pre-match, and you could have a bet. And we looked at the betting, and fifth, obviously, rest of the world, England, Scotland, I think it was Wales, Northern Ireland. They were all really close in the betting, and I think it was like anywhere between 9-2 and 5-1. And then Ireland was sixth place, 10-1. It was like ridiculously outside as we were. And that was our team talk. When he went, I'm not happy with that. So like we were like, let's not finish bottom and let's spoil the party. And we were just, the team spirit was brilliant. You know, it was, the dressing room was buzzing. It was like proper going back to Lansdowne Road days and running out with the green jersey on and just trying to do your best. It was brilliant. I loved every second of it.
Yeah, I didn't see much of it. I saw bits of it. So England beat Ireland 1-0. You drew 3-0 with the North.
What were you doing, Joe?
I just had bits on. Wales, you beat Wales 4-3 and rest of the world 2, Ireland 1. I saw Robert Pires scoring a hat-trick in one game. He looked good.
Yeah, it was
the first game. That was the opener. We were in every game. Scotland should have been 0-0. Hunty got sent off. Ridiculous decision by the Latvian referee again. I think we drew with Northern Ireland. Could have gone either way. Rest of the world, bang average. We should have beat them.
Yeah.
Bang average.
Yeah, I agree.
We should have beat them.
I agree.
Wales we beat. England should have been 0-0, and Scotland we drew, so we finished joint third.
Okay. Before you go,
yeah,
Liverpool Wolves this evening, and then Liverpool back in action after the City game. So, how confident are you feeling at this stage that Liverpool are going to go on and win the league based on everything that you've seen? Is the big question Liverpool fans are trying to ask themselves.
Obviously, if you give me this position at the beginning of the season, would they have taken it 4 points? Of course, would have done. But it would have been nicer if it was 10. I think everyone was feeling if we'd have gone 10 points clear, could City have made that gap up with the amount of games left? in the situation it would have been in? I don't think so. So I actually felt we might have had one hand on the trophy if that would have been the result, a more positive result against Manchester City. But obviously, it wasn't to be. I think it's a mental battle now. Obviously, we were unbeaten up to that stage, so we enter like a mental battle. You know, we've got to get back to winning ways. We've got to respond. We've got to bounce back from that defeat. But you know, we've got a fantastic manager whose man management of the club and the team is brilliant. You know, we come out straight after the game, very, very positive. The players, you know, they come out straight after the game. You could sense the team talk, you know, after the final whistle was very positive in the dressing room. I'm sure they were all reminded that you don't worry about it. You know, you've played a very, very good team away from home. And, you know, we're in it. I mean, it was fine margins. It could have gone either way. Could have been sent off. Could have been different. If Mane's would have gone over the line, could have been different. Yeah. You know, Sane's could back up. There was loads of ifs and buts, but you know, possibly at the end of the day, you could say Manchester City deserved it, but Liverpool were very much in it. Yeah, we've got a nice run of games now. Brighton next. We've obviously got Wolves tonight. I think there'll be quite a few changes. But yeah, I mean, 4 points clear at this stage of the season. You'd take it, of course you would.
How do you view tonight then, Jason? Just quickly on the Wolves game then. Would you rather go out tonight, get it done and dusted, just solely concentrate on the League and Champions League?
No, not at all. I actually think the biggest hindrance is the Champions League. Believe it or not. Listen, I think Jurgen Klopp, I think the club needs a bit of silverware. I think, you know, we need that day out. We need, you know, the FA Cup, which is the only trophy we can play for domestically. We could do with that in the cabinets. That would be nice. If it was on Jurgen's CV, you know, the fans would be happy. You know, I would go as far as we could in the Champions League. If we go out, I wouldn't be too worried. Massive emphasis obviously on the Premier League because of the situation we're in. But I think there's a real importance to, you know, to put a decent team out tonight and to get a result and go as far as we can. You know, we've got to be one of the favourites the way we're playing to win this competition. And I'd like to see us, you know, really apply ourselves and really go for it. We've built a squad now. We spent a lot of money. We've built a squad that can cope, you know, with the demands of cup football and league football. So I'd like to see, you know, obviously a few changes. I think a few of the lads need a bit of a mental rest after that Christmas period. So I'd like to see a few changes. But the lads who come in, you know, I'd like to see them, you know, roll the sleeves up and get a result tonight. Okay.
Listen, thanks so much for giving us your time. I know you're under pressure, and the lesson from the weekend and from Stephen Cluxton, Michael Owen, is if it's a charity match, Jason McAteer is bringing his angry face.
Game face.
Game face for the charity matches, yeah. Thanks a million. Cheers.
Thanks, Jez. Cheers.
Bye.
Thank
Happy
you.
New Year. Take care, boys.